The Astros absolutely destroyed the Boston Red Sox this weekend, sweeping them at Fenway Park. They've won 6 straight games at this ballpark, sweeping them for only the second time in franchise history. With Josh Hader, meanwhile, has made some history of his own, with converting his 25th straight save. More on that later on. But we've got a lot to talk about in this series recap, so it's all coming up next. Stay tuned. How sweet it is. Easy as sweeping sweet Sunday. That's right. So the Astros completed a 3-game sweep over the Boston Red Sox. They've won 5 straight games. Overall, they're still in first place, at least by half a game as of when I'm recording this. Because meanwhile, as of when I'm recording this, the Mariners, who are on Sunday Night Baseball, are just absolutely massacring the Mets. So thanks a lot, Mets, I guess. Because, you can't even score anything against this crummy Mariners team. Their pitching's great, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, dude, while the Astros have been playing good baseball themselves, they have not been able to fend off the Mariners, who are just staying neck and neck with them over the past couple of weeks or so. But anyway, let's talk about this series. But before we do that, let's dive into a quick little rehab update. Justin Verlander made a rehab start with AAA Sugar Land this weekend. I believe he went 3 innings, giving up just 1 run on 2 hits, I think, something like that. He actually pitched very, very good. Now, my best guess is that he will probably not pitch another rehab start. We'll see what the Astros want to do with him. But given the schedule for the Sugar Land Space Cowboys, AAA will be going to Tacoma, Washington to play the Tacoma Raiders, which is the Mariners AAA team. And then the Corpus Christi Hooks will be going to North Arkansas. So, my best guess is that there's no way the Astros would be sending him to either of those places. The Astros next will be in Tampa after this before they come home. So, I don't think it's going to be working out. But again, we'll see what happens. But 1 rehab start, I'm happy with that. He pitched very good. Hopefully he can come back either this week against Tampa Bay, if not the start of our next homestand against the White Sox, maybe against the Red Sox in the series after that, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, diving into the series itself, the Astros had hit 9 home runs total over the course of this series. The Red Sox have given up the most home runs in the majors since the All-Star break, so that certainly aided that. Going into the first game here, Ronel Blanco had only went 4 innings and allowed 3 runs, 2 of which were earned. The only unearned run came on an errant pickoff throw by him with a runner on third base, and he was able to score on that. But, I'm going to be 100% honest, dude. Ronel Blanco, I think this long season at this point has definitely taken a toll on him. He's been in the rotation since opening day, and, he has been really working his ass off. He's pitched amazing, but I think this is the point where it's certainly taking a toll on him. Because, like I said in previous videos, there will be points where guys like him and also Spencer Arrighetti are going to have shorter innings limits, but because they're just simply not used to pitching at this big league level yet. Spencer Arrighetti, of course, is doing amazing, but Ronel Blanco, of course, again, both of these guys, they've been in the rotation since maybe April or so. But again, they're both going to be hitting their innings limits at some point. And I do think Ronel Blanco has been getting to his at some point at this point. But going into the scoring here, the Astros were down 3-1, unfortunately, going into the 7th inning with just, I think, 3 innings left to play with. The Astros really couldn't get much going against the Red Sox starting pitcher. They scored once in the first inning on a double play ball that was able to score Alex Bregman from third base, I believe. But Ronel Blanco then gave up the 3 runs that he gave up on the course of the night to give the Red Sox 3-1 lead, which would bring us to the 7th inning when the Astros would start a rally. Altuve came up to the plate with a man on base representing the tying run. He would hit a game-tying 2-run blast over the monster to tie the game at 3, which I believe was one of 5 home runs that the Astros would hit over the monster in this series. Obviously, the Green Monster at Fenway Park, probably the hardest spot to hit a home run. But, obviously, meanwhile, Altuve has made that look like a piece of cake. One of those home runs was actually hit by Zach DeZenzo. More on that in a bit. But the Astros would score 2 more times in this inning on bases loaded base hits. to take a 5-3 lead going into the 8th inning. Then Taylor Scott was in a bit of a jam with the bases loaded, I think, and just 2 runs out, but he was able to strike out Rafael Devers to end that threat right away. And probably certainly one of his biggest strikeouts of his career to this point, one of the best of the season. And then going to the 9th, the Astros would then score 3 more times, capped by a 2-run blast out of the ballpark by Yanier Diaz onto Lansdowne Street to make it 8-3. But that was not quite the final score in this game, as the Red Sox would score 1 run off of Ryan Presley in the bottom of the 9th, but that's all they would get, as the Astros would win 8-4. Now, Ryan Presley did allow the first 2 guys to reach. He did allow one of them to score, but to his credit, it was actually raining and, kind of messing the conditions up a little bit. So not really his fault, but, again, it just kind of stinks that it works out this way. The Northeast in particular has at this time had actually been getting a lot of rain. So, even the Rangers, who were also playing that night, had gotten rained out before playing a DH on Saturday. But then on Saturday, it cleared up for the rest of the series, and, that was a good thing. So, again, Astros won this first game 8-4. Going into game 2 here, the highlight, of course, was Spencer Arrighetti, and he was bringing the heat today. He racked up 13 strikeouts. Yes, that's right, 13 strikeouts. A new career high. This man is achieving one career high after another. Just like one start ago, he had racked up 12 Ks against the Dodgers, I think, which was also a career high for him. And then he has set a new career high with 13 strikeouts. He is the first rookie in AL history to have 12 Ks in back-to-back starts. That was a stat I had heard on the Locked On Astros podcast, courtesy of H-Town Wheelhouse, one of the 2 hosts. So shout out to H-Town Wheelhouse. I know you're watching this video. I love the show. But going into the scoring of this game, Jordan and Bregman had hit home runs in this game. Jordan hitting 2 home runs, with the first of which got the scoring started in the first inning. Again, one of 2 home runs he would hit in this game. Bregman would also hit one of his own. Then Zach DeZenzo would also hit his first Major League home run over the Green Monster, the first of many for this young man, so good to see that. The Astros had scored all of their runs in this game on home runs, so the long ball getting it done in this game, though like I said at the beginning of this video, the Red Sox had given up the most home runs, more so than any other team in the majors since the All-Star break. So Yordan Alvarez went on an absolute tear in this series. I'm telling you, he loves hitting at Fenway Park. He had 3 home runs or something like that, 2 of which he hit today. And, there's kind of a reason why some teams that would kind of avoid pitching around him. And it's kind of good to see him heating up at the right time, because he's kind of been struggling as of late. Obviously, of course, this series he was able to turn it around, so that was good to see. But the Red Sox would not go down without a fight in this game. The Astros were up 5-2 going into the 8th inning to pave the way for the bullpen. Brian Abreu was the first guy out of the bullpen. He would give up 2 runs to the Red Sox to make it 5-4, but that was as close as they were going to get, as Josh Hader would come on in the bottom of the 9th and convert his 25th straight save, a new single-season franchise record, as the Astros would go on to win 5-4. Game 3, the Astros have the sweep within their grasp, and they were able to get it. But the Red Sox certainly did do them a bit of a favor. And not exactly the best one in the sense, because James Paxton, who was starting this game for them, had left the game early in the first inning with what the Red Sox are describing as a calf strain. He had sustained it when he was running to cover first base on a line drive that was hit by Jordan that the first baseman was able to knock down. Jordan would eventually be able to reach, but, again, James Paxton had actually fell down as he was running off the mound to cover first base. So obviously, I hope he feels better. But the Astros would go on to strike first, with Mauricio Dubon scoring from third base on a wild pitch. And then later on in this game, in the 5th inning, Bregman and Jordan would hit back-to-back jacks to make it 5-0. Bregman's home run, a 3-run blast over the Monster onto Lansdowne Street, the longest home run distance-wise of his career. And then Jordan's home run that he hit was his 3rd home run in the last 2 days, 5 over the last 5. And then going into the 6th inning, Jordan would get after Jordan had gotten intentionally walked. Yanier Diaz made them pay for that with a 2-run double to make it 8-0 Astros. And then Pena capped it off with another home run over the Monster, the 5th home run the Astros would hit as a team over the Monster, in the 9th this series, to make it 10-0 Astros, though unfortunately Hunter Brown, who was pitching today, despite him pitching very well, he was not able to snap the shutout, and he had a bit of a meltdown late in this game, as the Red Sox would tag him for 2 runs. Brian Abreu, who came in relief of him, would allow one of those inherited runners to score, But at the end of the day, the Astros would end up winning this game 10-2. Overall, dude, very good series against the Boston Red Sox. I love it when we are finally just clicking things together and working as a team to get these quality baseball wins. Obviously, I love getting blowout wins like this, but obviously, even if we had just won 5-0 today or 6-0, something like that, I would have been happy with that as well. Let's hope we can keep this up. Next up for the Astros, they will be capping off this 3-city road trip, their last one this season, with a stop to Tampa Bay. I mean, Tampa Bay has been playing pretty decent baseball as of late. The Astros, of course, are certainly looking for some revenge against them after they had dropped 2 out of 3 against them in Houston earlier this year. I mean, especially given that the offense was really in a slump that weekend, so hopefully they can pick it up. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. If you want to watch one of my other videos, then click these ones above my shoulders. And if you happen to be new here, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post these videos at least twice a week. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed, like I said, and I'll see you guys in the next video.